Most of us are taking photos and videos with our smartphone, and I'm not going to say the reverse. They are getting better and better every year, but you want to know which camera is the best to put in your bag in 2021, and I am going to tell you why you should consider having a Micro Four Thirds camera in your bag. Let's check it out. First of all, let's recap what is a Micro Four Thirds. Micro stands for more or less because before 2008 and the Panasonic Lumix G1, the 4/3 sensors were used by Olympus in their DSLR's camera series. But in 2008, Panasonic just released a brand new camera using the 4/3 sensors but without a mirror and a prism, making the system lighter and micro. The latest camera released by Panasonic using this kind of system are the Panasonic Lumix G9 and GH5. Now let's talk about the 4/3. The most common explanation is the fact that the sensor is about 18mm by 13.5mm, which make it 4/3. But the real explanation is because we are using an older technology from the oldest TV with the tube and everything. But now that we've got a nice little story, why do you need a Micro Four Thirds camera in your bag? It's because it's smaller and the lens are less expensive, faster and compact. But I'm going to tell you more pros at the end of this video. To understand the difference between Micro Four Thirds and full frame, let's take example. Example number 1, you have a full frame sensor with 24 megapixels on it, and then you took all those pixels and you stick them onto a 4/3 sensor. You quickly understand that the pixels are going to be much smaller, which means that all the photo sites are going to be less sensitive because they are going to receive less light per photo site. At the end, you're going to have less dynamic range, so you'll not be able to play with the color as much as you can with a full frame. Now let's talk about depth of field. Fact, you will not or hardly have the same depth of field or bokeh with a 4/3 sensor than a full frame sensor. This is due to what we call the crop factor. The 4/3 sensors are about half the size of the full frame sensors, which means if you take a photo with a full frame camera, you will have to crop to about 200% into your photo to get a 4/3 photo. Let's take an example to really understand that. If we take a photo of a subject to about 5 meters with a 35mm at f2.8, you are going to have a certain composition and depth of field. Now we're going to do the same but with a Micro Four Thirds camera and with the same lens, 35mm and f2.8. You will see that the depth of field is kind of the same, but the composition is completely different. If we want to have the same composition, we have to go back. So we're going to multiply 5 by 2, so we will have to be at 10 meters of the subject. But then the depth of field is going to be completely different. So this is again a con. Let's talk about the pros. Even though you will have to play with the disadvantage, the Micro Four Thirds camera have a lot to offer. The best stabilization due to the size of the sensor and all the technology around, the fact that you will have the possibility to shoot high resolution photos like 6K photos on the Panasonic Lumix G9, the best photo per second ratio for sports photos, and the price and the weight that you really should consider if you're buying your first camera or if it's your second or third camera. So is it a good idea to buy a Micro Four Thirds camera in 2021? Even if the technology seems to be stuck at one point, all the new updates are pushing the Micro Four Thirds at the top of the market. So if you're a traveler or backpackers, it's just the perfect camera for you because all the lenses are pretty affordable and compact and lightweight, which permits you to have all of them into your backpack and be sure that you will never have back pains. That brings me to the questions of the day. Does Micro Four Thirds have a huge impact in your camera choice, and did you ever try one? If so, did you like it? stick that into the comments so we can discuss about it. That's all for me. I hope you found this video helpful and entertaining. If so, click on the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Till the next one, take care.